guys, for today's video, this is a DIY hairpin leg desk. I really love this desk. I love how it turned out. My past few videos I filmed on it, and it's just great for the space because I have a guest room here, and it's great for the space to film, and it's the perfect size, and I'm obsessed with it. So I just wanted to do a quick video on how Jordan and I made it, because he mainly did everything. I just put on the legs, which he helped with, and then we clear coated it and everything, but he was literally a part of all of it. So I want to say thank you, Jordan, because without you this desk would not be possible, and it's perfect. Like, I'm in love with this desk. So I'm gonna stop talking and let's go ahead and get right into this video.
So these are some pieces of scrap wood that Jordan found, and he put them all together and just tried to see how they looked, and then he didn't think they were wide enough, so he put 2 strips of hickory down in between some of the boards, and then he sanded them and kind of cleaned them up, and then he glued them and left that sit overnight. And then when he came back in, he sanded it completely back to smooth, and just, you can't even tell, like I'm looking at it right now. And then he cut it out, and that's the finished look of it. So then he brought it home, and we just set up some sawhorses to set it down on, and we didn't want it to be too wide. But then we brought it in, and I got this nice stain for it because I wanted to kind of keep it like a lighter color. But before you stain, you have to sand it down and make sure it's 110% smooth, because it just makes it a lot easier for the stain to go on. And then you want to kind of just like spray all of that extra sandpaper off, because you just don't want anything on the surface. So then I got this Minwax wood surface, and it's like a golden oak, so it's a light stain, because I really wanted it to be very light and kind of just bring out the color of the wood without it being too dark. So we should have used rags, but we didn't have any. I suggest using rags. It's 10 times easier, but with a brush you don't really get the nice smooth effect. So what we did was we took paper towels and just dipped it in and wiped it, and then took a clean one and wiped the excess off. And then we kind of just touched up the edges a little bit and just went over a couple times with this just to make sure it was completely smooth. So it's really helpful to have somebody with you, because they can wipe some stuff before it dries, before you get back over to it. And yeah, so we just did that, and then it looked like this, and I love it. It popped out all of those lighter parts and kind of pushed back some of the darker parts in it, like where there's knots and whatnot. It's just like, oh, it looks so cool. And then we flipped it after it dried. You let it dry for like a day or a little more, I'd say, for the stain, and then we flipped it over and did the same thing on the other side. And this is actually the top. We wanted to do the bottom first to make sure that if we messed up, it'd be on the bottom. So yeah, then we just kind of tag teamed and went together on this, and then cleaned up the sides again. And I just saturated where like the knots were and everything, and just kind of got that color dark in there just to pull out the fact that those were imperfections in the wood, which I love. I honestly, I love knots in wood, and I just think it's perfect. Then we just went over it completely and smoothed it all out just to make sure that it was completely flat. And then we took this oil-based polyurethane, and I really wanted to get oil-based because it's really good for a working surface that can get wet and whatnot, that it won't let anything seep into the wood. So once again, we took new paper towels, and we just kind of wiped it, and then wiped off the excess just to make sure. And then I checked the bottom just to make sure nothing dripped underneath, so that there wasn't going to be any part that was thicker, because you don't want a thicker part on this, because it shows up immediately. Because we started to get one spot that started to stay, so we had to put a couple coats of this on just to make sure that it would not have just a thicker spot that you could just pick out immediately on the piece. And then we just worked together to completely smooth it out and just make sure there were no imperfections, because I just did not want anything like that. And then let it sit overnight again. And then my favorite part of this whole piece that Blue so kindly ruined the box for me are 28-inch hairpin legs that I got off Amazon, and I love the look of hairpin legs. I just think they're really like different and minimalistic and just kind of make a desk sit there. And the picture pretty much looks like how my desk turned out. I didn't actually mean to do that. And then when I pulled them out of the box, they didn't really seem like they were going to be tall enough. I kind of got a little worried, but now sitting at this, they're the perfect height. Like the 28-inch are perfect. And Obi, of course, had to climb inside the box. This is my kitten Obi-Wan. Yes, Obi-Wan Kenobi, because we're nerds. But then he wanted to see what we were doing, and this is really hard wood. It's extremely hard to drill into, so I drilled pilot holes, and then I tried to drill into them, but Jordan had to come over and finish them for me because I just could not get them all the way in, which is frustrating. But this is how it turned out. It was really hard to get like a nice full view of it since it's just like a thin piece of wood and then legs, but I love this desk. It turned out so stinking good. I love the light color. If you guys like this, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you would like to see more of my videos, and let me know if you want to see more of these kind of DIY stuff because I'm really into this. And I hope everybody has a great day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!